sun, you could have stayed. It's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through colored glass, time rolls on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shape my smile.
Okay, today is July 8th, 2022. This is my second video, and I talked too much on the first video. Alright, so let's go straight on Twitter and continue. I do not want to leave all of those tweets piled up, and when I come, I have no more interest in them because topic and stories already changed. Alright, next tweet. They can make all the claim they want, but a future secure and his popularity wouldn't have acted so aggressively toward his pair. What happened to Harry and Meghan was a combination of racism, xenophobia, and desperation. The royal brand is failing. Okay. What happened? Okay. Let me read it again so I could understand the sense. They can... I sort of understand, but something popped up in my mind and then I lost it. Let's see if I could get it again. They can make all the claims they want, but a future secure and his popularity wouldn't have acted so aggressively toward his pair. What happened to Harry and Meghan was a combination of racism, xenophobia, and desperation. The royal brand is failing. Okay, the picture that I'm getting is the brother, and the thing is that he has the same, if not more, you know, if he wanted to do certain thing, all he had to do is ask the firm to do it, because his his needs come before Harry. All right, but he's just too lazy, and the thing that they put in these people's head is ridiculous. They don't know how to be good human being. So if he did the work, all right, help people and do things right, he will not have any problem. He will not have to worry about the spare. Now that I'm editing this video several days later, to be exact, July 12th, the thing that I get while I'm editing it is that the brand was always there. It was always there. It's just that now people are realizing it, seeing them for who they are, because of I guess, okay, the squad are highlighting the imperfection that the firm has, which is a lot of imperfection, and social media is shedding light to their imperfection, their stupidity, their brand. Pretty much they always been that way. When you look at, for instance, Princess Anne, she had said they will not change. There was no need for that, or something like that, whatever she had said on Vanity Fair. So the imperfection was always there. It's just that due to social media, people are seeing it out of curiosity, wanted to know what's going on, just like me, who was curious to see what's going on. And then while I was curious to see what's going on, and I was able to see all the stupidity, all the imperfection. So the failing is due to the spotlight. That's it, the spotlight that they wanted, because what they did to Meghan as well. And social media helped them shed light to some of their imperfection, which is a lot. All right, so that's it. All right, she retweeted Pagan Trelawney's tweet. It's been obvious for a while that the royal brand just doesn't have the same pull anymore, so I'm not surprised that US outlet weren't interested in the Caribbean tour. Also, we are constantly told that William and Kate are a massive draw, but the facts rarely support that. Okay. Alright, for the royal brand to survive Betty passing, it has to be about more than one person. Neither of the future is okay with it be about the family institution as a whole. They instead want it to be solely about them. Unluckily, neither of their brand is strong enough. That makes sense, because at some point I was seeing certain things, okay, laws that were being put, things that were happening, and I was reading between the lines, where I think when they were, Harry and Meghan were really bashing, which is daily, there was a movement that was going on, and they read between the line. They saw their position was in, how will I say that? Their position was threatened, not by Harry and Meghan, but because of the action that they were doing, got some people upset. And I think they were putting certain laws where people cannot exercise their freedom to protest. A lot of things were happening, and I think I was pointing them out. But each thing that happened, it's their own doing. That's the thing here. They the one who's creating that. They don't want, how would I say that? They want to do things their way, and nobody shall ever question them. And at the same time, remember, people have their own lives to live. They have certain things that they need to do. Each action that they make, there's a ripple effect of it, and it's affecting other people. So when those ripple effect reach a good amount of people, people are getting upset. Now they realize that this is why they have people in all different direction, different position. Now they shift their certain idea or laws to address the sentiment of the people. I don't know if I'm making sense. I know I sound crazy on this. And this is why also there's certain group, I think, who's against the monarchy and all of that. And I was questioning that particular group who, let me see if I remember, they had some issues with Harry. and then that particular issue was brought up. I can't remember what that specific issue was and that specific organization, but they were against the monarchy. But yet the only person in the royal family who was doing the right thing was the one that they point out, where they had to do a review, and then that review come, Harry was right all along. So that made me question this particular organization. I can think of the name. Okay, on my last video I can remember certain names. The other brothers still now, maybe there's a reason for that. Now I cannot even remember the organization who had some issues with Harry, and they had to do either go to court or some review, and Harry was, you know, once the review was done, Harry was right from the beginning. So they have people all over, okay, all over their bases to cover their bases when certain things happen, okay, based on the institution action. Okay, their objective, they say, I'm gonna do this, they do it. Now when they do that thing, there's a ripple effect of it. Okay, whether some people are happy for it or disagree with it, whatever. So when they see a good amount of people disagree with it, now they have a certain people in certain position to take care of that ripple effect. All right, that's what I'm saying here. Okay, so let's go to the next tweet. All right, this is that. Per the BBC, an offer Prince Harry's counsel said was made, including an email to Sir Edward Young in 2020, but which was not passed to Ravik. Okay, Ravik, I should have looked at it more before I started recording. I tried to look for that term on our last video. There's more to it. I need to be more specific on the search. But which was not passed on to Ravik. This link to Harry's libel case against the Daily Mail, who accused him of lying about offering to pay Harry and Meghan. Okay, I bet Daily Mail was bold in saying Harry died because Edward Young told them so. Seemingly, when you tell the British media it's raining, they don't bother to look outside. Okay, that Edward Young is the guy who is the private secretary for the Queen or something like that. And on my last video, I read some stuff. Alright, but anyway, if you are going to come at Prince Harry, you better come prepared, because he has receipts longer than those at CVS. And those CVS receipts are long. Okay, the Daily Mail will want their money back and then some for that mistake. I think so too. There's certain things I think that happened, like for instance with the Meghan lawsuit, where they insisted, you know, give that Jason Kunoff the okay to go help Daily Mail. They thought they got something. Guess what? When it comes to lawsuit, Meghan and Harry said, I don't give a shit. Things that I wanted to be private from the beginning, now you decided to tap on it. So let's go there. If this is the way you want to go, let's go there to take you down. That's the way I see them work. These type of things the public don't need to know. But since you go in there and I want to win my case, we're going to go there at my own term. That's what my take on the copyright thing here. Because what happened is that Jason Kunoff took a small portion of text messages that were being communicated between Meghan and Jason Kunoff, and they took that small portion out of a whole bunch of other conversation to claim that he was co-author of that letter to the father. Alright, so Meghan was trying to keep that private, but since you decided you bringing a small part of it and she wants to win her case, guess what? She said release everything. Alright, so people could get the full context of it. Yeah, I don't know why these people won't stop trying to lie about Harry. He has receipt, doesn't need the fail, and they don't have dirt on him. They need to stop trying him. One, they were really charming, and other couples dislike them, taking the spotlight from them. Again, I don't know why people wants to be in the spotlight, because the spotlight bring imperfection. Spotlight is good for a moment, but these people want spotlight 24/7. So the more that they want spotlight, the more imperfection we're gonna see, because there's no perfect human being. If you were perfect, then you will want the spotlight all the time, but you're not perfect, so some imperfection is gonna come along with that spotlight. 2, the institution needs a scapegoat that is super popular and liked. They need to badmouth them so people do not pay attention to what really happening there. Okay, receipt, brave Harry. Okay, Prince Harry, I have the receipt. Not only that, I'm thinking Harry probably knows about that, but once Meghan saw certain shady thing that was going on. I'm pretty sure Harry, Meghan gave the hint and said, hey, you need to keep receipt because these people have our numbers. And I think this is why Princess Diana sent Meghan to Harry. Needed a buffer, a team, a tag team, because Harry will not be able to do that on his own. All right, I love receipt all day long. Prince Harry, exactly 100%. They better stop playing with the Sussexes. We only can hope they will try to discredit them every single turn. I'm sure in the same breath you also like to throw around the word protocol. The tweet from a country black. Okay, so I'm not even gonna go there. I already blocked it, so probably something stupid being said. Next tweet. All right, so there's this. The so-called men in gray who are employees of the crown and are members of RAV. They decided that Harry and his family then deserve security. So these are the people. Okay, I was aware of him, but who the hell is this? Okay, Tom Lang Baker, Charles and Camilla. So do they work for Charles and Camilla? Edward Young for the Queen. Clive Alderton for the Queen. Wow. I don't know why do I get there's this guy, I can't even remember his name. Oh the hell. Sir Clive Alderton, born 9 May 1967, is British diplomat and courtier who was appointed principal private secretary to Charles, Prince of Wales, and his wife, the Duchess of Cornwall, on 5 February 2015. Sir Clive Alderton. Wow, wow, wow. These people, they only know evil. Correction, Ravik. Alright, so this, I want to know more what this is. All effing three are probably Daily Fell puppet. Probably? Okay, Charles and Camilla's hand are all over this too. For some reason, I don't... Yes, but more of someone else. One of the two, but more of the other one. I don't want to name them. I do not want to single them out. Alright, so let me read this. Charles and Camilla's hands all over this too. One of them is more involved than the other. Not just Betty, and I'm waiting to see how Simon Case and Jason Kenoff are tied with these men. Harry needs to put a space between himself and that entire family, including his father and grandmother. Like I said in one of my videos, after Harry had gone to the UK 3 times and he came out alive, and I was like, that's it, no more. No more. Since 2020 I saw it. His popularity is a threat for them, because the thing that they want to do, because Harry's moral values are too great, too pure. I'm not saying he's perfect, please don't get confused. Harry's not perfect, okay, but it's too clean in comparison, with the royal family. So Harry needs to be very careful. And whatever charities he has involved in the UK, I hope they understand he cannot be there in person. And thank God there's Zoom, there's a lot of technologies to make his presence there whenever he feel like it. Okay, the faces of hate and evil. Exactly. Okay, oof, that island needs to diversify its genetic pool. They need more couples like Harry and Meghan, not less. The evil show on their faces, the men in grey, aka the courtiers, aka henchmen. Why do they all like they into bad things? I said it. All these haters look alike. Well, family lie. The dude of the left is really unfortunate looking. Oh my God, the squad. We need to pray to smoke out, okay, to smoke out those evil people. Expose them vampires to the light. Let them all burn. Oh hell yeah. Okay, I feel for Princess Diana, the people's princess. Yeah, Princess Diana said it. There's one video that I did, I think on the 3rd. I ended up recording a whole bunch. It was too much. It took me, I think I finished it yesterday. From the 3rd until yesterday, which was the 7th. I finished edited. And one part of it, I think I put out, is that I had so much receipt. The YouTube was giving me a hard time with it. Alright, each time I put it, there's this, there's that. I had to redo it, so it prevent me from moving forward and do some of those other new tweets. And I think I put something on my community board and said, I'm going through some stuff here. Okay, so there's some stuff you're gonna see. If you see it breaks or whatever, I was trying to comply with YouTube things. All right, so let's go to the next tweet. Yep, Princess Diana was going through a lot, and I had some receipt. And Princess Diana had said it. There was a campaign to stop her, and she knew it. Can you imagine that? A woman who they thought they could run all over her, okay, and that's not what they got. God is good. All right, so, in some shape or form, this just popped up in mind. As much that Princess Diana's situation is very sad, maybe it had to go through that. It had to go through Princess Diana. And like I said, certain people need to make sacrifices for certain things to happen. Maybe she was one part of the puzzle to expose the institution where she went through her stuff. All right, and they failed to see, how will I say that? They were blind, thinking that she's innocent, she's this, she's that, and you know, evil don't see purity. Okay, so they saw one thing, and Princess Diana had a raging fire. It's like a freaking dragon inside. They never knew she had that dragon inside her, but they saw a calm, innocent woman, which she was and everything. But they poked the dragon inside her until she become what it is. Okay, where she had to fight. Okay, not everybody wants to fight. So Princess Diana's dragon within her, they poked that to make it happen. And some of the receipt that we have to make us realize what Harry's going through is because of Princess Diana. All right, you have those powerful men who think they're strong, they're smarter than everybody in the world, and you have this woman, Princess Diana, by herself to expose them to her best capacity. There was no social media. There were not a lot of things that we have access now, and I'm pretty sure in the future there's gonna be much greater things, technology. Okay, so Princess Diana was a sacrifice to get the ball rolling. Okay, and then you have Harry. Without Princess Diana, there will not be Harry. Okay, so we seeing this is happening, and we just need to keep on praying. We just need to keep on praying. All right, so I hope I make sense with that. All right, Sir Edward Young, the man who blocked Harry from being able to see his grandmother, who told the world Harry blindsided the Queen, who leaked that he failed to ask permission to use her name for his daughter. The man permitted to present Harry's security request to the committee. As I was reading this, some of the things that I'm seeing here, there's gonna be a greater thing out of the questions that Harry is asking. Why he didn't get security, why certain things, why that. There's gonna be a greater thing in Harry's. This is a stepping stone of stuff. Okay, remember, he's not suing to get his security. He's asking why. Okay, he wants to know why. And as we move forward, names are being exposed. There's gonna be a greater thing in that. Okay, men in gray, Prince Harry. Men in gray suit as they come. Sir Edward Young, a man like him, is beneath Harry, who is a blood prince. Yet he's taking decision. They'll endanger 3 blood royals. The royal institution is a despicable organization. And the thing is that the raise, what is that? I've said this before. The thing that I'm getting here is, I know I've said it. Many of you have corrected me on that. Yes, all of this is humble opinion here. Everybody's opinion could easily as good as mine or as worse as mine. All right, so my opinion here, the minute the Queen's father died and then the Queen become the Queen, okay, because she's been there ever since the father died, is that the men in gray suit took over. And I think this is where the plan started, to take control of the institution. They probably did train the Queen to be a queen because there was no son, okay, a guy or boy to be the king, the next king. So they trained her where she could be the puppet. And then as she gave birth with Prince Charles, okay, they took over of that. They dumbed that one down. Okay, now you have the other blood royal, future. They extrally dumb him down furthermore. Okay, so now the future become a freaking puppet. So that is the ripple effect of things. And I'm even afraid for the son. We just wish that the parents of the mother teach him something different. Okay, that's the only thing that I can say. But they all want to be so accepted, and I don't see how this is gonna stop. I don't know. Let me continue. I hate when I see into Twitter to see isn't like this. So the racists who collude with Prince William's secretary Simon Case to endanger Prince Harry and Princess Meghan's life is also the person who helped to decide if they get protection. May guess. Okay, I guess my guess and Case never know peace. Okay, may guess. Okay, I don't understand this. Okay, she probably fixed. No, may they have no peace 1,000 times over. He is just the scapegoat for Queen Counsel and William. The rats start at the top. She could have intervened exactly as she did to keep Andrew's security. She chose not to. I think there's more. She might be right. This comment might be right, but I think there's more to it. Someone's hands is deeper in that. There's 3 people in the marriage. Remember that. But there's some hands in that. I don't want to name names. Okay, who are these peasants? How do the servants of the British royal family get all this power to make decisions that way? Harry is a British prince, and this man serves Harry and takes order from the British royals. So how is the servant making decisions like the ones he has made? Okay, I think this is what Harry had in mind when he said he wanted to make see that his grandma had good people around her. He also said that she was being ill-advised. That's true. I think Diana referred to them as the men in gray suit.
How did it feel being back? Being with her.
Being with her, it was great. It was just so nice to see her. You know, she's on great form. She's always got a great sense of humour with me, and I'm just making sure that she's, you know, protected and got the right people around.
Well,
her.
you make her laugh. That's what she always says. Did you do it again?
Yes, yeah, I did. Both Meghan and I had tea with her, so it was really nice to catch up with.
Yeah, Harry did say that, and he saw it. And Harry was too smart for them. They had to get him out of there. OMG, it's not possible to understand how servants have complete control over family, but actually it's just Harry and his family. Harry has committed no crime. Meanwhile, Prince Andrew has security. Where is Harry's living parents? And Harry is an orphan. Yep, the father, I don't know. That overshadow he's been having ever since he was a child, he's definitely gonna be overshadowed for the rest of his life. The spotlight that he wanted, he's not gonna get it. There's so much. The man is Queen's private secretary. Go to video 1. I sort of explained a chain of event of how these people may have been in position to make that those kind of decision, because something like that had happened where Prince Charles and Andrew wanted certain things, and the only good secretary the Queen had, Charles and Andrew, team up to get rid of him. Ever since then, this is the downhill. This is the downhill of things. Go to video 1 of today's day. Okay, let's see here. The man and Queen's private secretary, he's doing what he's told by the Queen. She was definitely aware of every decision the man took because she told him to. And yes, that should have been the norm of things. I just feel, okay, based on my feeling, not that I have a crystal ball or I have a scoop, is that I think they were put in this position to keep the Queen in certain, not aware of certain things, I think. Alright, so I don't know. This should have been what should be the norm, but I think there's certain people who put them in that position to not make the Queen aware. And the Queen is old. I don't think the Queen give a shit anymore, because she's just waiting for her time where she could easily fire these people. Well, this also speaks badly about the Queen as a grandma. The fact that Edward is still employed by the Queen says it all. All right, not making excuses for Lizzie, but the last time I checked on my now deceased 94-year-old grandma wanted to know what time of the day it was. Okay, dementia. Okay, I see what you're saying here. Well done, Iris, and very carefully stated. We have to start talking about these people out loud. That is true. That is true. There's that. All right, like I said, let the blind see. So these are coming out little at a time. Okay, well, family lie.
Prince Charles expected his butler to keep visits to Camilla a secret from the princess.
Paul just turned around to him and said, well, are you expecting me to lie for you, Your Royal Highness? And Prince Charles said, well, yes. Yes, I am.
Well, family lie. So much is shameful. If only they were self-aware or having any type of conscience. Okay, it's his grandmother, brother, and father who allowed this to happen, though. That is true also. So you're right, and they're still leaking and harassing Meghan. He should ask the truth now and not accusing the press and other people. He's protecting his family. Yeah. Remember, Harry said they all trap, and I think Harry knows the source of their trapness. I have a feeling. So he's doing step by step. I think there's a goal for Harry. Okay, remember, if there's a huge tree you want to chop down, it's a little bit at a time, until you get, you know, to the foundation of that. So I think Harry has a plan here. So he needs step by step. In other words, Harry's not in a rush. Okay, I wonder how many jobs he paid to get done, taking Harry's Sussex family security away, the job that got away. Unfortunately, Diana did not have her own support network, social media. That's right, and I think I said that in some other videos as well. Alright, different language. The Queen allowed this man and others within the royal household to make these decisions. It begins and ends with her. All these are true. I agree with this 100%. But I think these men were put in this position where they probably overwrite the Queen's decision to have these men placed there, okay, as a base for them. Okay, so when they want to do certain things happen. And what I think they need to do, because in politics there are certain things that is being raised about Johnson, who did something and lied to the Queen. Something I didn't go too much into it, but there's some issues. We need to find out how did Johnson were able to tell the Queen this lie. Okay, whatever lie that is being asked, because by now you guys should know the Prime Minister has resigned, okay, and a whole bunch of other people. So I decided not to cover this because I will have to say too much, because if you look at some of my politics video, it's like I knew all of this already. So I'm not surprised by many of this. The only thing that I'm surprised is how long these people stay in power. I can't believe this. All right, where people of the UK vote for these people to stay that long. All right, so that's the only surprise that I get. But everything in between, I'm not surprised. But that guy to be the Queen's secretary, as much as all of these comments I agree with, but I think that some groups within the house will overwrite the Queen's decision to put this guy as the Queen secretary, okay, as a buffer, as a base. When they need to do something, they could do it because he was the ear and eyes within the institution. Remember how I said where I think Princess Diana sent Meghan to help Harry and the other brother, which I still can't freaking remember his name. That happened in video 1. I can remember his name. All right, there was a reason for that. But instead, the other brother saw something completely different. Evilness. He bring in politician in. And I was like, that was a huge mistake. As soon as he bring in politician, they know how the institution operates. So once they know how the institution operates, that's it. All right. So much more. Let me move on. All right. Next tweet. So yes, the Queen should know, but this guy was put there as a base to probably also blindside the Queen. Next tweet. Prince Harry has the receipt. Per the BBC, quote, an offer Prince Harry's counsel said was made, including an email to Sir Edward Young in 2020, but which was not passed on to Vivek. Okay, so this is the thing here. he was the middleman to stop certain things that Harry wanted. All right, so this place here, I guess, is an institution. I need to look it up what it means for the royal family or in the British system. All right, so this institution was, I think, okay, I don't know what it stands for, but was supposed to be the organization. I'm just doing organization. It may not be organization, or the place, or like the police or something, to give the royal family security. So when Harry sent this guy, Sir Edward Young, an email, he didn't pass it on. So he stopped the communication. Okay, he stopped the communication. So this Ravik did not know, was not aware that Harry does not have security. Okay, this linked to Harry's libel case against the Daily Mail, who accused him of lying about offering to pay Harry and Meghan. All right, so I read this before, this tweet, so somebody retweeted it, so I'm understanding it a little bit more now after reading more of the other comment. All right, let's go to the next tweet. There's no comment. All right. So as I'm editing this video and I was typing this, something came to mind. It seems like, if you probably have seen the other videos which I edit in the wrong order. This should have been before all the other videos you've seen already. There was some confusion as to what was going on. What was there? 2 lawsuits, 1 lawsuit, or 1 review, or whatever. But I still believe what I think is that there's 1 lawsuit and 1 review, because whatever I just wrote. But as I was typing this, one thing that came to mind, it seems like, okay, humble opinion, but it seems like that whoever within the institution is creating narrative for the newspapers to be able to write. So meanwhile, while Harry is not physically in the institution, and while he's sending information, and this is why they're preventing information to flow, so they're creating this narrative of Harry, meanwhile, is completely opposite of what Harry's trying to do. So whoever's in the institution who's preventing information from flowing, when they see something that could be written the opposite, okay, like for instance, Harry said he's gonna pay for it, but this information was never passed on. Okay, so they create this narrative as if Harry's begging for, I don't know, I didn't read the article or the headline of why Harry's suing, as if maybe Harry's begging to have free security, like as if he never left the UK, which is nothing like that at all. Okay, so someone in the institution is helping the newspapers to create stories. Okay, they don't write the news, or they don't report the news, they create the news.
They don't report the news, they create it.
So this is one of the examples that I see is going on here, but Harry's on top of it. And I think from day one, and with Meghan's help, they have to create a track record of everything that, every communication that they're having with the institution, because the institution could easily say something completely different. But once they have a hard copy of it, they could have something to back them up. And this is where they are right now with, I believe, I need to look more into it, with the lawsuit that's going on, with whatever lie. It's a new lie. I'm telling you, Harry keeps on calling them, because the IPSO doesn't do shit for him, so he has to call them to court. So I need to look more into it and what's going on and stuff like that. I think a couple things happened on Friday with the lawsuit and also with the review. All right, so yeah, that just came to mind. Okay, it does put a spotlight on some of the briefing coming out of BP. Public announcement of a bullying investigation against a British royal family member. Briefing to the BBC that Her Majesty the Queen wasn't consulted about Lily's name. Okay, briefing that Her Majesty the Queen refused to take pictures with her great grandkids. So all of this, all right, all of this is the guide that they put in place, all right, to stop communication, okay, to not brief the Queen of certain things. So maybe he let me stop short again. All right, let's see here. So Royal Suitor retweeted Peter Hunt. I follow him on Twitter. This week, I don't know why I felt the need not to be on Twitter that much. If I do, is come and step right back out. Too many things that I was seeing. Okay, the chapter in Harry's autobiography on Sir Edward Young is likely to be a rip-roaring read. Alright, so he's talking about that secretary for the Queen. Alright, Edward Young developed a close partnership with Prince William's former private secretary, Simon Case. That's the thing. This is the thing that I was saying. William bring politician in to help him with stuff. Now that Simon Case already know how the institution work, so to get a little insight of more about the royal family, so he was getting, I guess, ideas from Simon Case. Alright, so that's that. Let me read that again. Edward Young developed a close partnership with Prince William's former private secretary, Simon Case, when Case took charge of KP in 2018. Alright, so some of the things that I've said before are coming to light. Princess Anne and Prince Edward wanted Young fired in 2020. Very interesting. That I was not aware, because they felt he was directly responsible for the feuding between royal household. Remember, lately, this is what I'm saying. Don't wonder why I'm a little bit, if you look at some of my other videos, how I am opening more to Princess Anne, and I'm like, that is disturbing. Her money coming in to live the lifestyle that she wants to live in. Remember, Princess Anne is not putting a gun in people's head to say, pay the royal household your tax dollars. She's not saying that. She's letting the people know, I'm living my best life. You willing to give me, you willing to give my family your tax dollars, so I'm gonna make the best of it. I've said this. So she saw, okay, Princess Anne is another cookie, good cookie over there. Not in the sense that many of you will want, but she saw the disturbance that will stop. Okay, that will stop her from living the lifestyle that she wants. So she saw the light. She saw the light. Princess Anne and Prince Edward wanted Young fired in 2020 because they felt he was directly responsible for the feuding between royal household. This is why is it Edward, when I don't know, for some reason when he's around the Sussexes, there's a warm feeling there. But it's the wife, the commoner, who has an issue. It's the commoner who has an issue, and the other commoner in the household who have issue with Meghan. But anyway, let's continue with that. Okay. Royal Suitor retweeted something she tweeted. Cleverly forging a close partnership with Her Majesty the Queen Private Secretary Sir Edward Young, the most powerful aide at BP, Mr. Case was instrumental in elevating William's statesman-like image to the disquiet of Harry, who felt pushed out by 4 generations of royalty for the app he helped to engineer. Wow. Yeah, they had the narrative going. Alright, so I'm not gonna, it's like thread within thread. If I go in that, I'm gonna get lost. Okay, the same Sir Edward Young who told Prince Harry he couldn't meet with the Queen because she was busy. These people never welcome Meghan. So at this point, I've already read the Tatler magazine where I discuss the Queen's secretary, I think Gates, G-E-I-G-T or something like that. Or just T, G-E-I-T, I believe, the Queen Secretary who Prince Charles and Andrew have replaced. So I read it and recorded while I'm editing this video. So the sense that I'm getting here from the information that I got from Tatler is that the newspapers know how sensitive the royals are. So they probably told him, which is young, to please the royal family. Okay? Give them whatever they want, whatever they want to hear, all of this. So they could set them up for failure. This is what I got out of this. I don't know if I'm making sense, but when you see that other article, that other video of the Tatler magazine, you'll understand. But that's the sense that I'm getting here. All right, so let's get back to the original recording. Not only don't want to welcome Meghan, I think the narrative, they did not want a voice of reasoning, okay, to the Queen. There are certain things they don't want the Queen to be aware of. That's what I'm getting from that part. All right, they did not want the Queen to know certain things. And if Harry were to go there to meet with the Queen, there are certain things that they're keeping secret from the Queen. They did not want Harry to bring to light. Let's go into that. All right, I can't read this. Okay, Harry and Meghan did not single out any individual employee, but it is widely known that Meghan clashed with the Queen's private secretary, Sir Edward Young. Harry did tell Winfrey that his invitation to dine with the Queen at St. James 2 days before the announcement they were stepping down from their royal duties was abruptly revoked when Sir Edward sent a message to Harry's own private secretary. I don't even think the Queen was aware of certain things, so it's secretary to secretary. That reminds me of something also. A former secretary to Princess Diana was saying how many people were working for Charles and how many people were working for Princess Diana. And when they wanted Diana or Charles to do something, it's like there was a huge bureaucracy to get the message to the Queen to see if the Queen will do it. And then Princess Diana was like, there's a phone right there. Why don't you just pick up the phone and call the Queen and get your answer right away? All right, instead of, you know, papers after papers before it get lost. It will take a month before the Queen gets the notice and all of that.
Can I tell a little story? Please. Before they split up, Charles and Diana twice a year would have a program meeting where they would sit with their staffs and plan their diaries for the next 6 months. And
so that came into mind. I'll put the clip right here.
This had obviously begun when the Prince was a bachelor, as a kind of a get-together with his close advisors to decide what they were going to do. And it had morphed into this huge meeting. The Prince's people on one side of a long table, and Diana and her people on the other. And the last couple of these meetings that we had, I can remember there was Diana and me, and maybe a lady in waiting. And there'd be maybe 20, 30, 40 people on the other side of the table. It was a stark visual reminder of what had happened to what had been previously a united household. But because we were that small, it reflected Diana's own preferences to be responsive, to react quickly to things, and she didn't like red tape. She was very good at doing her work, very disciplined, but she didn't like officialdom. So one time the Prince of Wales was debating whether or not to do a particular engagement, and he wondered if his mother might do it instead, and his private secretary said, well, I will write a memo to the Queen's private secretary. And Diana leaned across the table and said, there's a telephone over there, why don't you pick it up and ask her yourself? And he did, like a man in a date. And he went to the telephone, he picked it up, he got put through to the Queen. The Queen said, yes, of course I'll do it. And he came and sat back at the table and looked at Diana as if she was some sort of a miracle worker, because everything else was a wonderful British bureaucracy. Diana knew how to cut through it to get what was required.
Okay, the message read, quote, please pass along to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex that he cannot come to Norfolk. The Queen is busy. She's busy all week, according to Harry. Meanwhile, when Harry spoke to the Queen said, yeah, you could come. But guess what? Even if the Queen had you know, let's say engagement or whatever, the engagement doesn't take all day. It's a few minutes over there, maybe the most an hour and a half, 45 to an hour and a half, and then go home. And then what happened in between? Does she go and do more stuff and more stuff and more stuff? No. Harry could have you know, that few moments, Harry probably need maybe 30 minutes with the Queen and explain, have tea with her, but they did not want the Queen to have voice of reasoning. All right, Princess Anne and Prince Edward amongst those calling for Queen's private secretary to be sacked. But guess what? Because Princess Anne and Edward were far down of succession, that their voice will not matter. But if Charles and what's the other brother, Andrew, had concern with that, yeah, maybe they could have fired him, because Charles and Andrew have replaced the Queen's secretary before. All right, so they chose not to, because they could overwrite the Queen. Both of them could overwrite the Queen, because it has been done before. All right, Sir Edward Young's head is thought to be on the chopping block. Okay, that was in 2020 by Rebecca Corp, 13 January 2020. Wow, the squad have receipt. Also, the outrage when Harry said he was checking on the Queen to ensure she is protected. He was speaking directly about Young and Andrew. The media outrage was because Young knew why Harry made that statement, and they were pissed he put them on the notice. Okay, agree, and I add Kelly. Okay, who is Kelly now? Yep, definitely Kelly need to be added. Okay, who is Kelly? Edward Young briefed Valentine Law that Meghan was suicidal after she went to ask him for help and he refused. Oh my God, the vipers over there. Whew. And then they're not really ashamed to put it out there. I guess when they put things, when they brief those newspapers, is whoever that, you know, there's someone else that they're working for, to let them know, look, we're getting the job done. I think that's probably why they're leaking information. I can hardly wait. I think that Harry definitely is going after his father and the mistress. I'm trying to hold my, this is what I said. Harry has a bigger objective. Okay, it's like chopping, how do you say, it's like chopping chopping the tree, okay, a little bit at a time. So somebody says something, and that, well, all the pain they had put him through after his mom died, with her having taken charge of his father's household, where Diana's name was not allowed to be mentioned, so not to upset Camilla. Okay, Robert Lacey probably knew all of this at the time he wrote his book. He said 4 senior aides had a target on Meghan. He failed to say whom and why. All right, that just brings to mind where Princess Diana said there was a campaign to stop her. Okay, Robert Lacey quoted in this at the time article, Sir Edward Young blamed for failing to find right role for Meghan. Wow, let me guess, Jason Kenoff, Simon Case, Edward Young, and Angela Kelly. Guessing this explained why Carrie, the pregnant mistress, received a full-throating show of support when requested to be kind from Her Majesty the Queen. The same Queen who could not be bothered to step in on Harry and Meghan's behalf. Looked like it was Young running the show. Yep, that's another thing here. They're keeping the Queen, you know, the Queen is frail and all. I think they're just keeping the Queen here because how will I say that, as a figure where the institution is hanging on the thread, because if the Queen decides to step down,
I declare before you all that my whole life, whether it be long or short,
and you have Charles take over, there's gonna be chaos. People's gonna start, you know, crying foul. Flashback to what Harry said about, quote, the people around his grandmother, the Queen. Bad advice and needing protecting to have the right ones around her. Did he mean Edward Young? All right, let's see this one. In January 2020, Prince Harry and Meghan announced plans to step back as senior members of the royal family. In this exclusive clip, they tell Oprah they were then invited to spend time with his grandmother, the Queen, but the plan abruptly changed, citing she's busy or weak. Harry said he called the Queen directly and that she told him he was suddenly busy that night and the rest of the week. Prompting Oprah to ask if she was in control of her own schedule or life. Harry's response, quote, "No, when you head of the firm, there's people around you that give you advice. And what has also made me really sad is that some of that advice has been really bad." Yep. Harry said of the Queen, quote, "She's always got a great sense of humor with me, and I'm just making sure that she's protected and got the right people around." Edward Young. Yep. So Harry put them under notice. Yep. Harry is the only one who's upholding his position. Okay, very likely also responsible for the mysterious removal of Meghan's name from Archie's birth certificate. They had a bigger plan, but God had a greater plan. Horrendous act is a future Sussex lawsuit. Harry's looking for his receipt to bring that to light. Yeah, and he's gonna go directly to those who were involved. He can't just go out and sue. He has to go directly because things is just too broad. All right, too broad. You don't have concrete evidence. So yeah, I think that's he's chapping his black. Get a briefing about Her Majesty the Queen spending only 15 minutes with the Sussexes. Was he the one who told Meghan that she couldn't leave her home for those 4 or 5 months? The briefing happened with Her Majesty the Queen approval, aid, or just the attack dogs. I don't blame this aid. Nah, there's more to it for doing what his employee wanted, and the squad shouldn't either. Nah, there's more to that. That would have been the sense if everybody who were put in the position were genuinely put and do the job. I think there's like bureaucracy behind everything. Okay, let's see. Let me read her comment and then okay, you think a 95-year-old is running that show? Really? Let's see that. Is any of the Sussex squad doing a Twitter space right now? Because there is still much to unpack. Okay, oh shit, you are right, naming the nameless man. I'm looking more forward to the chapters of those who pay no Sir Edward Young. Okay, what no number? So superficial to what has really happened. OMG. Okay, and yet despite Harry and Meghan saying nothing since the Jubilee, they are somehow slagged off as the leakers, despite dozens of stories a day slagging them off clearly by the royal family and anonymous royal sources. Yep, so now there's a name behind this thing, behind the sources, some of the sources. All right, next tweet.